Greetings, greetings. I'm here today to kind of talk, well, not kind of, we're going to talk about reading. And reading is not just reading, but it's actually the foundation for life. There is a literacy crisis happening right now in front of us, and we can't afford to ignore it. It's our children. We are moving from one grade to the next, but not developing their reading skills. They need to understand what they're being taught, how they're being taught, and most of all, not passing them from grade to grade just because they've completed a year of school. And now it's time to just really recognize just how far behind our children are in school. I was listening to one podcaster, and he said that children were in the, by middle school that they were at 14%. Only 14% of the children were actually on their reading levels. And I found that to be astounding. And I have always been an advocate for reading. Um, you know, I believed in raising a reader. I implemented it in my daycare program, and I think it should be implemented again because with children not reading and not being able to pull, or, I just look at it, I'm wondering just how many parents have books at home for their children or encourage them to read. And if we don't start at home, seeing our parents read, seeing our parents seeking knowledge and learning, it really puts a dampening on their insight of what reading really is. Reading is taking an adventure, it's really going different places without moving, it's creating your imagination, it's creating activities to go along with the book. It's all sorts of things to open their minds to something different. It's a way of teaching a child how to problem solve. It's a way of teaching children science. It's a way of doing everything. If you don't comprehend what you read, you are going to fail. And if you can't read, that is such a bad deficit to be at, is not to be able to read. And I want our children to surpass their reading abilities or their grade level abilities. I want them to conquer reading. I want them to achieve the highest that they can achieve. And that's why we created the program, Leaping into Reading, because we want our children to get into it, to leap into it, to jump into it, to learn, to comprehend, to see, to take those adventures, to increase their horizons or to expand their horizons so they can see different things. I mean, you can actually visualize going to a different country, going to see the Taj Mahal, going to different countries, just taking an expedition in your mind. I'm not saying that, there's a whole lot of children that have never left the area of where they live. And actually, reading can help introduce them to different things, different ideas, different opportunities, to comprehend a textbook, to be able to um, investigate, to see what information really is, to develop critical thinking. All of these things are important to our children. But if we don't give them the tools to use to read, we're leaving our children defenseless. So I'm encouraging parents. Like right now, we're working with the children the ages um, from 5 to 8 right now, and we're doing reading in different areas. And I want each and every parent, if you have a child and you want them to read, we'll have certain locations, but actually, I'm working on further projects to expand the reading to where not only they read at our program and do the activities that go with them, but to be able to read at home or to have a couple of books to read at home and then come back and tell me what they read about. See if they soaked it in, to see if they comprehended what they read. And that's what our program does. We introduce them to reading, uh, reciting the book back, to tell what they learned about it, to see if it's good or bad, or just to pull out little items and little nuggets that might give them a different insight on life. Um, I think on our last book readings we read, I made good choices, and the children participated highly. They got into it. They were um, giving, for instance, is this a good idea? Should I, if I drop my work on the floor intentionally, is that a good action or is that a good choice or a bad choice? And a lot of different inferences were given or examples were given, and the children did wonderfully because they understood. You know, when you read a book, it's not just about reading the words on the page, but comprehending and understanding and getting something out of what you've read. And that's what we're here for, is to help them see that and to see the process of reading. And reading without comprehension is nothing. If you don't understand what you've read and you don't maintain it and you don't store it, it does you absolutely no good. So, what we want our children to do is not just hear the words, but to experience the words, to learn from the words, and to grow from it. So, that's what our program is about. I'm going to leave a link below so you can sign up and register. And you can register your children from this particular link. And it's not just about uh, participating in the program when we have the reading, but also you can get the information about the reading and the children can practice at home. We don't have a cost for this. This is completely free, but it is a tool for our children to have so that they can be more successful in life and to be able to read and to break that mold of the stamina that they have, that our children can't read and they don't read on grade level. We want to make that difference, to have them exceed their grade level and to overcome what has been stereotyped about them. Because yes, our children are intelligent. Yes, our children are a reflection of us. So let's help that process. Let us curtail those bad thoughts. Let's work with our children. Let your children see that you're interested in what they do. I gave my preschoolers homework. Yes, I did. I don't care if they were an infant. If they were an infant, they took a book home and the parents were required to read to that child. Yes, I did that. And you know what? It's nothing wrong with that. It is absolutely nothing wrong with that, because you are developing a habit in your children that they need to read, or I want to hear a story before I go to bed, or, just to give them, it's good to read, to give them the okay. Hey, my parents approve this. And if they approve it, then that means it must be something good because they're following the goodness of your footsteps. I could tell you a good example of myself when I was younger raising my son, and I was probably the queen of cursing or close to it. But when I heard my son repeating my language, I had to step cold in my tracks because there was nothing that I could say about it except for he was modeling from my example. And I want you to look at that from a reading aspect. If your children see you reading just as easily as they could pick up your bad habits, that's just as easy as they could pick up a good habit. So why don't we model the example of being a reader and raising readers and teaching and working with our children with reading? So I'm just going to leave you with that little tidbit and that little bit of an experience from my life. But I want you and your children to succeed, and I want them to read. So click the link below. Join us, participate, have your children participate. It's going to be fun. So whether they are there at the event or whether they're participating with the event later, we are developing curriculum so that they will be able to read, or they will see uh, how to read and how to pull things out of the story, how to listen to good literature, and to learn and grow from the literature that they've read. I'm just going to say bye for now, but I had to, and have to do this. We have the Pharaoh Project is working with us, and I'm doing this um, not just for myself, but I'm doing this in honor of my grandson, which is Damond Lazenby Jr., which um, he passed away, and one of his joys was reading. So we will be further uh, emphasizing and uh, I would say using his legacy to bring forth the things that he enjoyed, which was reading and math. And we will be opening that particular part of the program a little bit later, but we're going to start with the reading aspect, and then we're going to go into the STEAM and STEM aspect of it. So I want you to follow us, keep your children engaged, keep them enthused, and never forget reading is fundamental, and it's also the foundation for success. So I'm going to say bye for now. Don't forget to like, share this video, and make sure, most of all, that you sign up your child so that they can participate in our reading program. Bye for now. Have a wonderful rest of your evening or whatever time that you're viewing this video, and make sure that your children are reading. God bless. Love you all, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of whatever time of day that you're viewing this video. Bye for now.